Hello plant parents, I'm Anu from Nurturing Green and I'm back with the freshly brewed episodes on plant care guides where I talk about everything you need to know on your plant care for your healthy babies. And on these episodes, we'll today talk about one of the most trendiest and sought talked about plants in India right now, which is an Areca palm, also known as a NASA air purifying plant. A very versatile plant, but somehow in India we have a tough time managing it and making sure that we have a greener and healthier palms. And that's why today I've come here to talk about its plant care, where I'll talk about these 5 most important elements you should have to make sure that you grow a great, healthier, greener and bushier palms at home. So the first point you should look at is the watering. Before we talk about watering, you should know that this plant is actually grown in the tropical weathers, especially where there is high humidity around. So these plants require good watering, but always make sure that when you are watering them, you water from the perspective that you give good watering and the water trickles down, and the next time you water it only when it's been dry at the root level. So the roots not always like it to be wet. So this you can check it from the spoon test or the eye test, which I've talked about earlier also. In this, ideally in winters you should water it once in 10 days or 12 days. But a good watering, again depending on water is depending a lot around how's your pot and how's your media. If you have a porous indoor coco peat based media, then you should, and you have good pores at the base, always make sure that whenever you're watering the plant, the water should trickle down, gives a idea or indicator to you that the roots also has got the water which is required. But the next time the watering you should do should be from the perspective of when it has been dried, and not at the top but at the base where the roots are. So that's why you should do a spoon test or put your finger inside for 3 to 4 inch and see that if the roots are wet or not. If it's wet, wait for it and let it dry more. And that's from the water side of it. A second important aspect on this is from the placement perspective, and a lot of people do a mistake on it. It's not a problem, but because that's how our industry is, where the information is not about and the right sources not been known. So placement, why it's important is it defines 2 aspects. One is the your temperature, and second is the light. With temperature also, it also defines how much humidity that place should have. So for example, if you're putting it indoors, you are making sure that it's been grown in 1000 to 1500 lux. Now if you're bringing it indoors, you should always make sure that it's been grown indoors. So that's important to find a source wherever you're buying this plant from. Is it grown indoors or is it grown outdoors? If an outdoor, you can't bring it indoors, you will have a temperature shock. If you are growing in a semi-indoor where it's already grown at 2500, 3000, then you can bring it at 1000 lux. Ideally, this plant thrives really well around from 1000 to 1500 lux, which is good indoor plant light levels. From this placement or this light levels, you get a temperature which is usually, now you're keeping it at a windowsill or where there's a bright light coming in, which means that the temperature is also not extremes. It doesn't like heat. You go extremes and remove humidity, which is in summers, let's say, you will see tip burns happening, and it's because this plant can't take extreme heat, and especially without humidity, तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं होता, and it sort of starts behaving weird. So always make sure that you don't take it to the extremes and there's no temperature shock happening. These days, especially in December or in November, actually, you see the afternoon temperatures going 35 and the evening going at 15. Now it's been exposed and kept outdoor or in your balcony, you will see that shock coming in. A third important thing in your plant care is the media and food. Now, very little people take care about it, but that's, I think, the most important element, right? So, अगर खाना ही नहीं है पेड़ को अंदर, तो वो क्या ही उगाएगा, and how much growth it will happen. So, first check if it's in media which is soilless, or it's in soil. If it's in soil, then it has to be outdoor. Don't bring it indoors. You should change the media during the repotting time into a soilless media, because in indoors you need porosity. In soil it will clog the water and your plants will start dying eventually. So bring it to a soilless media. It has less smell, increases the porosity, so the oxygen levels inside the roots gets higher. So very important if it's a soilless media. And second, is the food been given or not? As I always talk about, slow releasers, that's the best product and the best food made in the world, and the most technological advanced products ever made. You don't have to look at liquid fertilizers, don't have to look at NPK, microorganism, biostimulants. All and every science has been put into it, and so always use slow releasers. Good part, you can also see it that if it has gone dissolve or it is still there. It's usually 6 months, 8 months, or a 3 months course. So you just put once Basa coat or Nutri-Coat or Osmocoat. A lot of these are available, and every 3-6 months, depending on what package you are taking in or what product you are taking in, which is there on the cover, you can actually do the feeding. Very mandatory, especially when it has a season of growing. So it actually starts sprouting around post rains, which is around August. So you'll see that a lot of new sprouts are also coming in, and if that time you don't have food and a proper soil mix where the food has not been picked right by the roots because of the media not been good enough, you will see very retardant growth or the growth not good coming in. So that's the third aspect whenever you're looking at it. A fourth very important aspect into the plant care is to look at these bugs. And you will see that a lot of your plants will already have these bugs because that's where they have been grown for. Now, if they have been into the bugs, that leaf is gone, right? And if the bug is still there, persistent, then it will actually eat up all the leaves around. So always make sure that there are no bugs around. If there is bugs, you can use fungicides. There are homegrown and homemade methods also. They're not always good enough. Like, a lot of people talk about put oil. Don't do that. It blocks the pores and the stomata is blocked, so it cannot take in the air and the carbon dioxide and starts choking in. You have to clean the leaves, just plain water, nothing else, but don't put any such thing. If there is a bug, use a fungicide. It's always good to remove it, or you can just cut that leaf, make sure that that bug is not there. Indoors usually don't come in. It's only because you're buying it from outdoors. It's been grown outdoors. From there it carries it. If you're then putting that plant indoors, you see that it's been indoor coming in and goes to everywhere. So always make sure that whenever you're buying this, from a care perspective also, that the source is very important, because it actually controls the whole food chain, and how your baby will react in the future becomes a very important element. And that's what I've also talked about in the Plantopedia section on Know Your Plant, where I talk about the A to Z of any plant. And in the palm, this is what we have talked about. Just watch this video. I put in the comments in the description below. I've talked about it also. So the fourth aspect, as I talked, was always make sure that the source is also good enough, so that the bugs or pests which are there doesn't stays. If it stays, just use the fungicide. It's easily available on the Amazons or Flipkarts of the world. You can choose any of them around. So these are four important points which are there along with the pest, and if you're able to do these, most of the time you will have healthy and greener and more bushier plants. In case anything else you guys have a typical point, or your palm baby has been doing or reacting weirdly, send us our photos, just drop me a DM, and our team will definitely help you with these and make sure that you grow healthier, greener and bushier babies. Thank you for watching My Plant My Babies plant care guide, where I've been talking about today on the Areca plant. Alright, have a nice day.